This is the Padres POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the San Diego Padres. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, Padre fan? Welcome to your Padres POSTCAST on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. My name is Jim Greasehaber. Call me Grease, and I'll tell you what, not the best night for the Padres. Tonight at home, they suffer their second consecutive shutout loss. One zip to the Tampa Bay Rays. Great job by Shane Baz tonight. 7 innings, real good for Tampa Bay. But man, San Diego's offense just not getting it done as of late. As we know, things have not been going the Padres' way offensively, and that continues tonight. 0-for-3 with runners in scoring position, and that's not a ton of opportunity either, right, when you think about it. So it's not just not coming through when the opportunities present themselves. It's that they're not even giving themselves the opportunity. So 1-zip, the final tonight. The Padres could not get a run across in this game, and with good reason. Shane Baz, outstanding performance on the bump for the Rays. And the Rays are a pretty decent team. They're 12-14. Good division, American League East. Look at the Yankees, the Sox, the Orioles, you know what I mean, in that division. But I thought Michael King deserved a lot better. I don't know why the guy only goes 5 innings tonight. That just was confounding to me when you look at Michael King tonight. And, hey, he didn't throw a ton of pitches, 90 pitches. It's 1-0 at the time. So why'd they take him out? I don't know. We're going to look into all that. We have so many things to do and such little time to do it. First things first, I grease all the honeys, dummies, play by bunnies, those wanting money. Those are the ones I like because they don't get Nathan. But a thank you for being here every single night. Appreciate you everydayers, you know what I mean, and newbies, everyone. Just thank you for being here. We're free. Make us your first listen, watch every day. But we're free on YouTube, free wherever you get your podcast. That means Spotify. That means Apple. That means iHeart, wherever you get your podcast. And free, you down with OTT. Yeah, you know me, over the top television. It used to mean something different, OPP. Now it's OTT, and we're free on Roku too. So we are here. We're grateful to have you here. Smash that subscribe, hit the bell so you get the alerts when we're coming your way with more content. And of course, come on into the chat and say what's up to your boy. I mean, they just couldn't get anything going tonight at all offensively. This team has been offensively dead, and there's a picture, and I have it in here somewhere. I might as well pull it up. It's Action Jackson, who's in Action Jackson right now, Jackson Merrill. And yeah, you know what I mean? That's a tough one. It's a tough one. Just kind of sitting it out, still got that tightness in the muscle. Don't want to push it early in the season, and with the team having sent Kyle Hart to the minors, bring up Berger, one of the top prospects, right? Berger's going to be pitching out of the bullpen. But, there's just a bitter feeling in the air right now. So there you have it. Padres POSTCAST on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. 1-zip, Tampa Bay with the win. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. A lot to get to, short time to do it. What do you say we get it moving with your Padres POSTCAST on the Locked On Podcast Network? Your team every day.
This is what you'll be talking about.
We are talking about 1-zip, the final, the Tampa Bay Rays, and they beat our San Diego Padres. Shane Baz, 7 innings, 4 hits allowed, 1 walk, so 5 base runners for the Padres, 6 strikeouts for Baz. His ERA is 2.45, so the dude's a baller. He's a G regardless, So you knew you were going to have a tough night, and you also know that the offense is challenged right now with Merrill out. The offense is challenged right now with Cronenworth out, and the offense is challenged right now anyway because Manny's not hitting, and there's a lot that goes into that. You know what I mean? So, and you're looking at what happened tonight, right? Gavin Sheets gets on base. It's ridiculous. It's hilarious, but ridiculous at the same time. Sheets gets on base on a 3rd strike. Catcher can't hold on to it. He's the one who gets doubled off of first when Oscar Gonzalez flies out, diving catch, shoots up, double Sheets off of first, who shouldn't have been on base anyway. And, that was kind of apropos. This is what we're talking about. And even Fernando's like, what? Really? Like, what's going on here? See, I mean, and look, he had a double tonight. Fernando Tatis Jr. had 2 hits, as a matter of fact. He had a double, hitting 340. He's just off to a great start. MVP type start for Fernando. Well, you guys know this, and he's been fantastic day in and day out. But aside from that, Manny, he was hitting 370 a week ago. Manny's down to where's he at? He's at 281. Bogart's all the way down to 250. They moved him up to the 2 hole tonight. Didn't help Xander out. Sheets 0 for 4. that lineup's starting to really look ugly right now. The averages are all dipping. A bunch of offers, Iglesias and offer. Shout out, by the way, to Ornelas. Ornelas grew up in Tijuana. Ornelas got his first big league hit tonight, Tirso Ornelas. So shout out to Tirso. Nice job in his first hit. And that wasn't, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. Tatis with the double and not much else. You know what I mean? Machado grounds into a double play. He's been doing that like crazy lately. And when you think about what this team's been missing, you knew going into the season, right? We talked about this a lot early. And shout out to Javi, by the way, day in and day out. You don't want to miss your Locked On Padres podcast. We did the crossover show the other day, and it was fantastic. So shout out to Javi. We did a great show together the other day. If you missed it, go back and watch it. So Locked On Padres podcast with Javi, day in, day out. It's dope. Myself after the games, that's some dope coverage right there. Even when the team's, scuffling and struggling a little bit right now, the coverage is not. So shout out to Javi. You want to make sure you check that out day in and day out. But what I really would like to make sure I get to here is to talk about Jackson being out. Jackson Merrill, the injury, that's huge. Cronenworth, the injury. Those guys are good, right? And obviously Merrill's a fantastic player. And he makes a big difference in the 4-hole. You're missing your cleanup hitter. But you still need one more bat. Javi and I talked about it last time out. You need another bat. You need another arm. Now, is Yu Darvish enough with that arm coming back? Musgrove, kind of forget about him this year. He wants to try to come back in October. Tommy John, forget about it. Next year, more than likely. But do you want to trade for a Sandy Alcantara? Like somebody like that? Do you want to? He's a Cy Young Award winner, and his contract's pretty team favorable. You know what I mean? The Marlins are prone to dumping dudes, and you know how that goes. So you're not real sure about that right now. I'm not anyway. But while you're here, come on in and be sure about smashing that subscribe button. Hit the bell so you get alerted when we're coming your way with more content, and come on into the chat and say what's up. But you knew going in, and we talked about it a lot. Javi's talked about it a lot. The starting pitching with Yu Darvish out, with Musgrove out, you don't have that real ace at the top like when you had a Blake Snell. Although King was dope tonight. King pitched great, but if the guy's only going to go 5 innings, you know what I mean? What are you going to do? What are you going to do when the guy's only going to go 5 innings? I mean, it's a 1-0 game. He gives up 4 hits, strikes out 9. He's dominant. And he has to come out. Why? Why is he coming out there? That's not an ace. I hate to break it to you. It's not an ace. It's not. And Cecil pitched tomorrow. To me, it's not an ace. 5 innings, you got to take him out. I don't care what the reason is. I don't care if it's preventative. I don't care if it's stiffness. I don't care what it is with King. I don't care. Whatever it is, doesn't matter. That's not an ace. 5 innings, he throws, 90 pitches. He strikes 9 guys out. I mean, that's not an ace. You take him out. I mean, luckily they didn't score again. It is what it is. The Rays got their run in the 3rd inning. It wasn't much of anything, really. And King pitched out of a jam. I give him a lot of credit. King pitched out of that jam. That was a tough jam to get out of. And he had a little bit of a jam in the 2nd inning, too. It wasn't an easy night for King, even though he struck out 9 guys. And, when you have a lot of strikeouts, you're throwing a lot of pitches. And his numbers were going up. You know what I mean? Strikeout, full counts, things like that. And so, yeah, but 90 pitches. Come on. He had a couple more innings in him for sure, without a doubt. But in that 3rd inning, it's a throwing error by Bogaerts that starts the inning. That's the kind of thing that when you're not scoring, when you're not hitting with runners in scoring position, and they're 6 for like their last 46, when you're not hitting and you're not pitching right now, when you're not hitting with runners in scoring position, and a night like tonight, you're not even getting runners in scoring position to hit with them in scoring position, you have no margin for error. So a throwing error by Bogaerts and, a bunt single. And think about that, how fast Simpson is and Walls and, it's crazy how fast these guys are. But, playing small ball, they know that the Padres aren't hitting. You scratch a run across there, it's ball game, right? And then low singles to right. So you're looking at bases loaded, sacrifice fly, and then you get a strikeout and a pop out. Beautiful job by King there. Why is he coming out of the game after 5, though? That's not an ace. I'm sorry. That's what I've been saying. I'm going to keep saying it. I will keep saying that. I don't care what the reason was. It's not an ace. Jim Greasehopper, call me Grease. I hope you think of me as an ace. For you, we're free right here with your Padres Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day, not to be confused with the Locked On Padres Podcast, which is Javier Reyes, day in and day out. Fantastic job. We just did our first crossover show the other day. I'm the post-game. He's the day-to-day, and he's been talking and will keep talking a lot about possible trades, Do you need an ace pitcher? Do you want an ace pitcher? Do you want a big stick in the middle of the lineup? Don't forget that, Jackson Merrill's coming back. But what Javier said was, hey, I don't know, Grease, if I necessarily want that big gun in the middle of the lineup. I don't know, Grease, if I necessarily want that ace pitcher up top. And he talked about adding some depth, adding some thickness, adding some good players into that lineup and into that rotation, not going for the big splash, which they've done year in and year out. I mean, think about last year, bringing in Adam, bringing in Tanner Scott, so many things over the years at the deadline that they've done. And he's kind of hoping, as are, I think, a lot of you, that the Padres go a little bit smaller this year, add some depth, add some real good players, and maybe not go for the big splash. And look, the farm system's pretty depleted anyway. So to get a guy like Sandy Alcantara from the Marlins, you're probably not going to be able to because of the farm system. Anyway, Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. I'm a little bit late to the break, but we're having so much fun with the show today, and we only have one spot to do on the video side of the podcast. Anyway, it's Padres POSTCAST on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team, every day, 1-0, Tampa Bay with the win. The Padres have lost 5 out of 7. They've been shut out back-to-back, and not the type that had Drake all excited like it was Jordan 96-97. This is not the type of back-to-back that you should be excited about, Jack. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell you what they can do on the other side to turn this thing around, and other than getting healthy, you know what I mean? And then, hey, it's National League Baseball after all. Maybe you play a little bit more National League style ball. We talk about that on the other side and much, much more. But first, we have a great offer and something really dope to tell you about. Because we have 220 plus shows, we have the best sponsors in the world, some of the biggest companies with some of the best deals for you, because by volume, we have a huge audience for them, and that only benefits you. So it's Padres POSTCAST. It's Grease on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day, free on Roku, free on YouTube, and, of course, Spotify, Apple, iHeart, wherever you get your podcasts. And the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day, 1-0 Tampa Bay. Keep it going right now. And did you know that when it snows, did you know your Fire TV is also an Xbox? How about that? Turn any TV into your gaming and entertainment hub with a Fire Stick 4K devices. No console required. Just grab your paired controller, subscribe, or sign into Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with EA Play included, and you're ready to play. Dive into hundreds of premium titles from EA Sports, College Football 25 to Call of Duty Black Ops 6 and Avowed as easily as you stream your favorite shows. It's gaming made simple, and it's all on your Fire TV. I love it. My 2 sons and I, they're 21 and 16, different phases of life, different games they're playing, but they still can't whip their dad. You know what I'm saying? Because we have latest technology for elevated playing. Yes, we do, with Wi-Fi 6 and 6E and auto low latency mode advanced technology. Fire TV Stick 4K delivers smoother, more responsive gameplay with lightning fast speeds you need to stay competitive, and that's important. You talk to your kids about that, no doubt about that. Very important, right? Endless entertainment with 4K streaming. Watch more than 1.5 million movies, TV episodes from your favorite subscribed services like Netflix, Prime Video, Disney Plus, Max, and more. That's right, affordable and portable gaming is yours. Play high-quality Xbox games at a fraction of the cost of a console. Oh, it's so dope. If you already have a console, no worries. A Fire TV Stick 4K device is more affordable and easier to travel with, allowing you to take you or your kids' games wherever you plug in, right? That's absolutely a fact, Jack, with your, you know what I'm talking about right here, right now. With what you're going to do is to go to Amazon.com/Fire TV Locked On to get started. That's Amazon.com/Fire TV Locked On. Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription and compatible controller required. Available on select devices, including Fire TV Stick 4K 2nd Gen, Fire TV Stick 4K Max 1st and 2nd Gen, and Fire TV Cube 3rd Gen. Amazon, Fire TV, and Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. All right, that was a mouthful right there, wasn't it? And an eyeful, too. By the way, Tampa Bay won, San Diego nothing. The Padres lose. They get shut out for the second straight day. They've lost 5 out of 7. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. Look, they started 14-3. And now they're 17-9, 12-2 at home. They're not used to losing at Petco. You know what I'm saying? 1-6-0 for the Rays, none 5-1 for the Padres. You know what I'm saying? Like the only run of the game allowed by Michael King, but the only run of the game scored is unearned. King was unbelievable tonight. 5 innings, 4 hits, no runs, 9 strikeouts, 1 walk. You know what I mean? 4 hits, 1 walk, 5 base runners. He had a little bit of trouble tonight. He pitched around some trouble, said trouble, pitched through, said trouble. He had the heater coming back nice too, just outside to a righty, coming back over the outside corner, oh my God, just dope. Really on it tonight. He deserved better. You know, King is 3-1. He's had nights where he didn't pitch as well, where he got a win, and that's where it all evens out in Major League Baseball. By the way, I'm Jim Greasehaber. Call me Grease. Thank you so much for being here on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Padres off to a great start. You know what I'm saying? And it's not, you're not going to go through a 162-game Major League Baseball season unscathed. Jackson Merrill's injury happening now. Yu Darvish out now. Musgrove out for the year. Look, it's happening. Do you want a big-time arm? Do you want a big-time bat? I don't know about any of that. I really don't know about any of that right now. But what I do know is that I really want to thank you for making us your first watch/listen of the day every day. Myself and Javier Reyes right here on the Locked On Padres podcast channel. Your team every day. And, you know, we're free on YouTube. We're free on Roku, free on Spotify, Apple, iHeart. You know what I mean? It's just awesome that we can be here for you like that. And I don't know, Boz was fantastic tonight. Shane Boz for the Rays, and of course they win 1-0. It's an unearned run. I mean, it was just awful the way that King lost this game. I mean, he was pitching through trouble, but Shane Boz, 7 strong innings for the Rays, 4 singles. All he allowed, struck out 6, walked 1. The Rays have won 3 in a row, but the first time this season the Padres have been shut out back-to-back. Gavin Sheets doubled off of first base, in case you missed it, on a fly out to end the game by Oscar Gonzalez. And, you know, I mean, look, it was a pinch runner, actually. It was Mason McCoy, pinch runner for Sheets. My bad. Mason McCoy gets doubled off, and he shouldn't have been on base anyway because Sheets was struck out. But Michael King, you know, who was dominant. His last home start wasn't so much today, but 90 pitches in 5 innings, you know. I mean, he too hit Colorado last time out at home. But a fantastic job, I think, by King today. Got to go more than 5, though. I don't want to call him an ace. And you got Cease on the mound tomorrow. But Bogarts with the throwing error, consecutive singles, bases loaded, sack flies all they get. You know what I mean? Sack flies all they got, but that's the turning point of the game. Might as well just do it. Actually, I always say a lot to get to in a short time to do it. And let's just
time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
An unearned run. There you have it. Just a terrible, terrible feeling for Michael King. 4 hits, struck out 9, walks 1. Tampa Bay loads the bases with no outs in the 3rd. Bogarts with the throwing error gets it going. You know, consecutive singles, only 1 run scores. Diaz with the sacrifice fly scoring walls, and that was it. You know, that was it for Tampa Bay. And King deserves, look at this shot, by the way. It's a great picture. King deserves so much better. He was really good tonight. King was really good, man. He deserved this dub. King deserved this dub tonight. Look at him right there. Just, you know, and you're not going to get him. It's a 162-game season. I get it, but this team is woeful offensively. 6 for 46. Their last 46 with runners in scoring position. There's King. You know, look at this. I have to show you this beautiful shot. Petco's just dope. Look at this. Look at how beautiful that is. Just really nice. But, you know, Fernando, the lone bright spot, had 2 more hits tonight. Again, Tatis, and just, you know, couldn't get anything going and score any runs. It was just one of those nights for the Pods, you know, and man, just one of those nights. And that was, by the way, that was Ornelas with his first hit. So they're back at it tomorrow. You know, it's Major League Baseball. The Padres now 17-9, 12-2 at home, but it'll be Dylan Cease 1-1 with a 6.04. He finished 4th in the Cy Young battling a year ago. So Dylan Cease on the mound for San Diego, and that will be a I believe like a 5:10 start, 5:40 maybe. We'll be here right after. with your postcast. And real quick, before we get on out of here, let me just take a peek at one more thing. We got the standings here. Just want to take a peek at the standings. There we go. Sorry, guys. Just taking a peek at the standings real quick to see what happened today and where we stand. All right. Well, that's why you would look at the standings, right, Jim, to see where you stand. So still 17-9 in first place, half game ahead of the Giants. You got the Dodgers at 16-10, struggling at the same time. The D-backs have kind of taken a step back. They're at 14-12. So good news. You're going to be struggling, be struggling while the other guys are struggling too, right? And there's Fernando one more time, like, hey, man, what's going on here? What's going on? So while you're here, see the numbers surging. Love it. Make sure you subscribe. Smash that subscribe button, subscribe to our content and our channel. Javi does a great job. Not for me, for him. I'm here after the games. He's here all year round. Been building it since before the pandemic. Make sure you support him. He does a fantastic job. And while you're here, check out the postcast as well. And yeah, it'll be awesome day in and day out. And they're still in first place. So we'll see. Tomorrow, Cease on the mound. And that first pitch tomorrow will be, let me just make sure I get this right for you before we get on out of here. A couple more things to do. No hurry here. All right, we got the Rays tomorrow, 5:40 tomorrow. You're only a day away, so we'll be there tomorrow. We'll have a full postcast for you right after the game. And before we get on out of here tonight, one more thing to do, and that is...
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Who should we give it to? What do you think? I mean, it has to be. Does it not? Shane Baz? No, I don't know about that. And that wasn't Shane Baz. Oh, by the way, there's Jackson Merrill sitting this one out. That's apropos, just as they go 6 for 46 with runners in scoring position. He's sitting there. And here is your guy right here. Shane Baz, 7 innings, strong for Tampa Bay. And then, of course, for the Padres, Fernando had 2 hits tonight. And then you have, obviously, I think, you want to be down with the king. There you go, Michael King. Beautiful job tonight. 5 innings, 90 pitches. Only 1 unearned run, but 9 strikeouts. Fantastic job by King. But the Padres lose 1-0 back-to-back shutouts. They've lost 5 out of 7. 5:40 tomorrow. Dylan Cease on the mound trying to reverse it and get it going in the right direction again. We'll be here right after the postcast. And, of course, don't forget Javi, day in and day out, with your Locked On Padres podcast. For Javi and all of us here on the Locked On Podcast Network, I want to say thank you for making us your first watch/listen every day. Make sure you keep on coming back for Locked On Padres podcast and the postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. Jim Greasehopper, call me Grease, Gries, at Jim Grease _ on social media. Thank you so much for being here. One more time, hit us with a subscribe. Keep your game tight and your mind right, San Diego. We are out.